welcome to Theme Park History, the channel for everything to do with theme parks. Old and new, big and small. In today's episode, we feel the gamma-charged rush of the Incredible Hulk Coaster, a steel-launched roller coaster that opened at Universal's Islands of Adventure on May 28, 1999. This attraction was suggested by all these Hulkamaniacs.
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world destroy you?
Wait, wrong Hulk. All these fans of the Jade Giant. So thank you to everyone for the comments. As always, if there's any attraction you would like us to cover in future videos, leave a comment down below. You never know, your suggestion might be next month's video. Based on Marvel's comics The Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk Coaster is one of the first sights that guests encounter when they enter Islands of Adventure. The roller coaster is the first of its kind, as it features a unique launch system that thrusts guests to 40 miles per hour in approximately 2 seconds, and upwards of 150 feet into the air. With intense speeds and numerous inversions, roller coaster fanatics will all agree the Incredible Hulk Coaster is not only one of the most intense, thrilling, and exciting roller coasters ever created, but also one of the best attractions at the park. As we previously mentioned in our The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man video, by 1991 Universal had begun the planning and development of a brand new theme park to be built right next door to Universal Studios Florida. Originally known as Cartoon World, the theme park would combine timeless characters from animated shorts, children's books, and comics, bringing them to life with their own theme areas and attractions. The centerpiece of the park was originally planned to be DC Superhero Land, inspired by DC Comics and featuring superheroes such as Batman and Superman. While the deal to bring the Caped Crusader and the Man of Steel eventually fell apart, all hope wasn't lost to bring superheroes to life in Florida. Universal would come to an agreement with DC Comics' rival, Marvel, to create an entire area at the new park dedicated to their own cast of heroes and villains. Known as Marvel's Superhero Island, the area would be themed around Marvel Comics, making guests feel like they've just stepped into one of their favorite comic books, and would feature attractions inspired by Spider-Man and the Hulk. A large portion of the park's budget would be spent on the creation of these two attractions, with each being innovative experiences featuring elements never seen before in a theme park ride. For the Hulk, Universal wanted to create an experience that was just as intense and unpredictable as the hero himself. It was decided that a roller coaster themed around the Hulk would be the way to go, with the overall goal to make it the most thrilling coaster at any park in the Orlando area. In order to achieve this, Universal began working on a prototype of a brand new launch system for the coaster. While most coasters at the time would use a system of chains to pull the trains up a lift hill at the beginning of the ride, Universal wanted to create a coaster which launched the trains out of an inclined tunnel. Work on the launch system began in January 1995. Which was being developed at the time by Universal Creative and MTS Systems Corporation. A prototype of the system was created in which boxcars were welded together and raised at an angle to represent the launch tunnel. Inside the mock tunnel, a system using a dune buggy on a track was built, in which the buggy would be propelled inside the tunnel with the use of a weight drop launch mechanism. The team would use this prototype to experiment with the different levels of acceleration and intensity, generating anywhere between 1G and 5Gs of force, with 1G being decided as the maximum amount for the launch. With the amount of force being chosen, the team needed to figure out how they would be able to produce it over and over again without fail for the launch system. Various launch mechanisms were considered, including cable-based systems, hydraulics, and pneumatics. It was eventually decided the launch system would utilize a drive tire system, which would use 230 individual motors that would grip the specifically designed rail underneath the train and launch it out of the tunnel. MTS Systems, who created the ride system for another Islands of Adventure attraction, the Cat in the Hat, would supply the launch mechanism. In order to launch each train, the ride requires 8 megawatts of power, with each launch taking place on an average 1.5 minutes. To avoid drawing too much power from the city of Orlando and risk browning out the local area with every launch, a motor was installed that would draw power at a fixed rate from the grid. The motor would churn the power into mechanical energy in the form of a 10,000-pound flywheel, which spins at a rapid rate. The wheel would be coupled to an electric generator, enabling the power to be released quickly for every launch. With the launch system now in place, construction on the coaster would begin in 1997. Universal would hire Bolliger and Mabillard to design and manufacture the coaster, with superior rigging and erection being responsible for erecting the supports and track of the roller coaster. The ride is 3,700 feet long and features 7 inversions, including a 0G roll, a cobra roll, 2 vertical loops, and 2 corkscrews. The ride reaches a max height of 110 feet and reaches a top speed of 67 miles per hour. B&M purposely designed the coaster so when the train plummets down the track, a roar-like sound is created to imitate the roar of the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk coaster would officially open with Islands of Adventure on May 28, 1999. While Universal has refused to reveal exactly how much the attraction cost, reports suggested it was anywhere between $30 and $50 million.
Men in Black Alien Attack Sunglasses, $14. Jurassic Park Pin, $4. Revenge of the Mummy keychain, $3. Hearing your dad scream like your little sister, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Use your MasterCard throughout the park for special offers and discounts.
Located within Marvel's Superhero Island, guests enter the laboratory of Dr. Bruce Banner. Inside the lab, television monitors play footage telling the story behind the Hulk. Banner has been researching for a way to reverse the effects of the gamma radiation that affects him, and has recruited the guests to assist him in his experiment. Banner's plan is to recreate the original experiment that created his alter ego, attempt to resynthesize himself, put the two halves together, and remove the Hulk for good. Guests reach the end of the queue, passing the generator and gamma core, and into the loading station, where they board the 8-car train. Once guests have boarded the train, it departs the loading station and into the gamma ray accelerator. Here, Banner can be heard telling the guests that everything with the experiment looks good so far.
Everything looks good. I think this time it's going to work.
However, a voice announces there's been a malfunction as the accelerator radiates the guests, turning them into the Hulk. The launch system propels the train to 40 miles per hour in just 2 seconds and out of the accelerator. Upon exiting the accelerator, the train immediately goes into a 0G roll, down a 105-foot drop, and into a cobra roll over the park's main lagoon. Guests complete a vertical loop, then enter a subterranean tunnel full of mist. The train encircles the accelerator and is sent into the back area via corkscrew. A smaller vertical loop wraps around the mid-course brake run, which is flanked by 2 overbanked turns. The train is slowed down by the mid-course brakes before being sent down another hill to a corkscrew and turnaround. Guests then travel sideways through an on-ride camera zone and then into the ride's final brake run after a helix. Guests re-enter the loading station, exit the train and the attraction, where they can purchase a photo of themselves while they were on the ride. The 2-minute, 15-second attraction was a hit with guests, as many praised the roller coaster's launch system, track layout, and intensity of the overall ride experience. The attraction is considered to be a cornerstone of Islands of Adventure, as it's currently the only roller coaster at the park until the new Harry Potter-themed coaster opens later this year. Since its opening, the Incredible Hulk coaster was ranked as a top 50 steel roller coaster by Amusements Today's annual Golden Ticket Awards for 14 straight years, from 1992 to 2012. While it was one of the best roller coasters in the world when it opened in 1999, the Incredible Hulk coaster would not fare well over the years, as guests would complain about how rough the ride experience had become. In order to restore the coaster back to all its mean green glory, it was announced on August 14, 2015, that the attraction would close to undergo a major refurbishment, with B&M working with Universal to replace the entire ride track, along with a new launch mechanism, new ride vehicles with an onboard sound system, an updated queue, and a brand new storyline with a score provided by Patrick Stump, the frontman of Fall Out Boy. The attraction would close on September 8, 2015, and after undergoing an 11-month transformation, the Incredible Hulk coaster would officially reopen on August 4, 2016. The new storyline of the attraction focuses on guests entering a state-of-the-art military research compound and volunteering for a scientific experiment led by General Thunderbolt Ross, a classic villain from the Hulk comic. called Hulkification, a potentially life-altering process first introduced by Dr. Bruce Banner. Ross wants to turn the guests into super soldiers by exposing them to high levels of gamma radiation. After passing the new entrance, which features a statue of the Hulk holding one of the ride's vehicles over his head and arcing tracks passing over him, which were actually from the original roller coaster, guests make their way through the revamped queue. In the queue, guests pass through the laboratories, scientific equipment, and the gamma core, the source of power Ross is using for his experiments. Guests also view the results of what has happened to others who have been through the Hulkification process, being transformed into creatures similar to the Hulk. Guests eventually make their way to the loading platform where they board their train and enter the gamma core, where a voice announces initiating gamma exposure. Hulk transformation accelerating. Do not be afraid. The gamma accelerator then blasts riders with superhuman strength, launching them out of the gamma ray accelerator. The guests then experience the same track layout like the original ride, however with the new ride track and an original score composed by Stump along with the 75-piece Prague Symphony Orchestra. Reception to the refurbishment has been met with rave reviews, as guests praise how smooth the ride experience now is, along with the changes to the queue and the overall story to take it out of a 1990s Marvel comic to somewhat of a current Marvel superhero movie. Just like The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, which received its own major refurbishment in 2012, the upgrades to the Incredible Hulk coaster make sure another generation of both Marvel and theme park fans get to experience what it would be like to become the Green Goliath. The Incredible Hulk coaster is one of the most iconic roller coasters ever created by B&M and is a marquee attraction at Islands of Adventure. For 20 years, guests have been feeling the gamma charge rush of the roller coaster, offering a truly one-of-a-kind ride. With the recent refurbishment, Universal has been able to upgrade the fan-favorite attraction and create a unique experience that will please everyone, whether it's first-timers or long-time fans, for the foreseeable future. So that is the theme park history of the Incredible Hulk coaster. As always, thank you for watching the video and supporting the channel. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if there's any attraction you want us to cover in a future video, leave a comment down below. Once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
He can't be the Hulk. I'm the Hulk. Oh, please. You couldn't even change into Bill Bixby. Come on, damn it. Change. Ah, forget it. I really did it once.
Yes, yes. I just wish you had the power to leave my store.
Incoming call. I've put it on screen.
That might have been more extensive than extended.